What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. Today we're going to look at incorporating some chords that are a little bit outside, nothing too drastic, just a small step out of key, and hopefully we can come up with some pretty cool chord progressions. So the first chord progression we're going to look at is pretty simple. I believe it's from a Porcupine Tree song, and I don't remember for the life of me what song it's from, but the chord progression goes basically D minor, and then we can lift that up and play D sus2 or add 2. And basically we're just going to move that down to B minor and B sus2. And the thing to take from this is that movement between chords, if I play a chord and I play the same chord and I move it either down or up a minor third, 4 frets on the guitar, that is a different key, okay? So we're playing, so when we drop down to that B minor, we are stepping outside of D minor. And then the next chord is actually going to be this funky little chord, and that sounds outside on its own, but it's really just an E diminished chord, right? I can play it here. I got an E minor 7 flat 5, and that would be E, B flat, D and G, or 7/8, 7/8, and that upper note is going to resolve down to the F. Right, so for those of you looking to incorporate some kind of diminished sound, if I play a minor 7 flat 5 chord and then move down a whole step, 2 frets, it's going to resolve really nicely. So that's what's going on here. We have D minor, B minor, so that's our chord progression, right? So play with it how you will, but I always like to come up with ideas. So the thing I came up with was right? So that's what I came up with, and the way I did that was basically, if I look at these chords, I'm essentially just thinking of D minor pentatonic. If you're familiar with your boxes, it would be box 4, right? And when I come down here, I'm thinking the same thing. And then when I get to, whoa, and then when I get to this chord, I'm just arpeggiating it. And that resolves nicely because, again, it's that chord, right? So all I did there was O1 or A, B flat, and then E, and then A, B flat, D, E, F, G, A. Kind of right up the scale a little bit. And then when I came back to the idea, notice I played it this way with this fingering rather than here. And just because that's just how my hand ends up, and it feels really nice. Cool. So that's idea 1, to kind of incorporate some outside sounds a little bit. We're changing chords, playing modally if you want to think about it that way, when you move a minor third, and then we're also incorporating that minor 7 flat 5 or diminished chord, which sounds really nice. And the example that I played in the beginning was actually inspired by, I'm a big Tom Quayle fan, and I recently was watching his melodic minor tutorial that he put out, which is outstanding. If you want to get in the melodic minor and learn more about it, I highly recommend. I mean, everything Tom Quayle does is amazing. He's such an inspiration. But the chord progression is basically off of C major, right? Simple bar chord. And I'm going to try to keep the theory out of this so we don't get bogged down. If you want to know some more of the theory, send me some emails, send me some questions, put it in the comments, we'll talk about it. So we're basically going to play a C major chord, very simple bar chord, 3, 5, 5, 5. And now we're going to borrow essentially from F melodic minor. And real quick, where does that come from? Basically, if you're playing a chord progression in C, you have 1, 4, 5s. You've all heard that. Radiohead, the Beatles. You make the 4 chord minor. Essentially, you can play F melodic minor, and that's where all the rest of these chords are coming from. All right? I'll write that out in the tabs, which the description will be down in the link below. So we have C major, and then we're going to play this A flat chord. All right? If I play it this way, if I hold the bar on the 3 5s, or however you want to think about that, right? You get an A flat major sharp 5 chord. Still A flat major because the sharp 5 doesn't change the quality of the chord, it just adds a lot of tension, and it still sounds really nice. And you've probably all played some kind of simple power chord rock song that goes, right? That movement sounds good, the descending third. So that's why this sounds really good. We're just creating some extensions and some tensions over it. So instead of playing this one, I'm actually taking out the sharp 5, and in this case, I'm putting it up in the top, so sorry about that. But I'm putting the 11 in there, okay? So we get a nice sharp 11. Major 7, sharp 5, sharp 11. Big fancy term, but still love the chord. And I'm playing A flat or 4 on the low string, skipping the A string, 5, 5, or G and C. First finger is grabbing the D on the B string and then the open E, and that is our sharp 5. Okay? And then I'm going to go back to C major and grab a D minor chord, essentially D minor 9. But instead of playing D in the bass, I'm actually going to put A in the bass, the 5th fret on the low string. So we get that A flat A in the bass. Sounds really nice. And right there, I'm just adding a little melody on the B string. Remember, it's a D minor chord. D is here, right? 3rd fret on the B string. Little scale fragment right there. Okay. And now I'm playing F minor 6, right, which is a little nicer than playing an F minor major 7 chord. Which has a lot of tension, but it still sounds really good. I would practice mixing that in with C, but I play the 6. It's not so harsh, right? And here's a really nice B11 chord, B flat 11 chord. So the F minor 6, the A flat, major 7, sharp 5, 11, and then the B9, B13, B flat, sorry. Those 3 chords are all taken from F melodic minor, right? So remember, real quick on the theory, how do we get there? If we're in the key, go to the 4 chord, make it minor, and make that the root of your melodic minor, and that's where you get all those chords from. And it sounds really nice. Excellent. So there are some simple ways that we can kind of step outside and add some outside chords to our progressions. And I think they sound great, and hopefully you do too. And as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.